Hello. Hey, what's up, people? How's it going? Me, back again. Same old with me. Uh, I thought I'll make a quick video and connect with the guys and go over some couple of articles. I'll go over a couple of articles from a journal in this video. They're about trade war with the United States. There is trade war going on between the United States and many countries, and as so far India is concerned, we have many things going on. I'll just go over a couple of articles in this video about trade war with the United States. I'll just cover a couple of articles about the same in this video. This is what this video is about. I thought I'll play some background music just for fun, and make a quick video about more interesting statistics, more interesting facts. I just updated my journal. Like a couple of hours ago today itself. It's late Wednesday evening at my end. Last week of August 2025. We are in last week of August 2025. Late Wednesday evening at my end. All is good with me, guys. Just same old. I was at my place. I have some health issues going on. Just nothing major, something very minor, and I've been recovering. I was on medication. I'm on medication for next 4 days. I was at my place. I have this bandage underneath my armpit, recovering from bacterial infection on my skin. This is something very minor, not something biggie. So as for work is concerned, it's gonna get busy. We've already gotten hectic schedule these last 10 days, and it's gonna get busy for coming few months. I'm recovering from minor health issue. So what's up with people? What's up with everybody out there? I just updated my journal like a couple of hours ago. I thought I'll bring up a couple of articles about trade war with the United States in this video. Nothing much, just same old. These are a couple of big articles. One article, it has a couple of big paragraphs. Another article, it has 4 big paragraphs. So I'm gonna give it a read. It's quite fun. A lot of interesting statistics we have. A lot of important information, important facts, and how this trade war is gonna turn out in coming few months. So we're gonna go over all that in this video, guys. So I thought I'll make a video and connect with the guys, and probably bring up a couple of articles. Yeah, weather is fine. It's a bit humid right now. We have like an hour to go, hour and a half to go for sunset, I guess. Hour and a half to go for sunset, I'll say. Yeah. It's Wednesday evening at my end, last week of August 2025. So I'll get started with the articles, guys. I was talking about. It's about trade war with the United States, both these articles. So I'm gonna give it a read. This is the first article. This is what it says. It's a couple of big paragraphs. I'm gonna give it a real quick read. Let's go how it goes. Let's see how it goes. This is what it says. It says, from today, Indian goods entering United States will be costlier as Trump's 25% panel tariff for buying Russian oil takes effect. Because this tax has been slapped on top of an already high 25% reciprocal tariff, many Indian exports may be priced out. How can an Indian shirt tariffed at 62% compete against one from Vietnam tariffed at 20%? As our main commentary explains, this is a shock for Indian manufacturers and producers whose exports to United States could plummet from $86.5 billion last year to $50 billion. This will likely impact jobs, even though pundits are saying overall GDP growth won't be impacted sharply. One recent estimate, one recent estimate pegs India's GDP loss at 0.8 percentage points this fiscal and next. India did well to stand up to Trump. China faces no panel tariff despite buying more Russian energy than India. India will weather the tariff storm. Government of India has signaled economic reforms while continuing negotiations with United States. It's helping exporters find alternative markets. But Trump should start worrying about the cost of his actions at home. Prime borrowers in United States, those considered more creditworthy, are struggling to repay loans. In a clear sign of financial distress, they are also shopping more at discount stores. And this is before the impact of tariffs has made itself felt on US shop shelves. Trump may be about to find out that he's riding a tiger. Yeah, guys, this was one article, just a couple of paragraphs about trade war with the United States. Like we know, we have 50% tariffs, for exports to United States from India. And how come it's gonna affect the manufacturers and producers? Like how was India's exports to United States would probably decline from $86.5 billion to $50 billion. But it's not gonna affect the GDP very sharply. GDP growth. It won't affect the GDP growth very sharply. It estimates India's GDP loss at 0.8 percentage points this fiscal and next. Yeah, guys, this was it from this article. This was it from this article. Like, how come we have 50% tariff on our exports to the United States, and how come manufacturers and producers, they're gonna be affected, and how come exports to the United States will eventually decline, and how it's gonna affect our GDP growth this year and next year by 0.8 percentage points. Like, it's not a big shock to our economy, so we don't have to worry too much. So I'm gonna start reading the next article now. That was first article. Now we have second article. It has 4 big paragraphs, so I'm gonna start giving it a read. Guys, this is what it says. America has crowned itself the world's tariff superpower, imposing duties so steep they shred World Trade Organization principles. Starting today, most Indian goods entering the United States face a crippling 50% tariff, up from barely 3% just a year ago. Can you guys believe it? From 50%, like from 3% to 50%. Oh my freaking god! That's a fucking law. It's a fucking law for manufacturers and producers. Who are exporting goods to the United States. Like, they're gonna bear export cost. Like how come tariffs have increased from barely 3% to almost 50%. This is how it goes further. It says, for India, this makes one of the harshest trade shocks in decades. The scale of the hit is unprecedented. India exported $91.2 billion of goods to the United States in 2024, mostly tariffed at under 3%. Now, 2/3 of these exports, worth $60.2 billion, will be subject to a 50% duty, hammering labor-intensive industries like apparel, textiles, jewellery, shrimp, carpets, and furniture. Yeah, guys. So, how come we exported $91.2 billion of goods to the United States in year 2024, and how come these products were tariffed under 3%, and how come 2/3, like 66% of these exports, which are worth $60.2 billion, will be subject to a 50% duty now onwards. And labor-intensive industries like apparel, textiles, jewelry, shrimp, carpets, and furniture uh, they'll be facing issues. They'll be facing these tariffs. Here it goes further. It says another 4% of exports, $3.2 billion, mainly auto components, will face 25% tariffs. Only 30% of exports, including smartphones, pharmaceuticals, and petrochemicals, are untouched. The 50% tariff makes India one of the most heavily taxed United States trade partner, equal to Brazil, but much higher than China at 30%, Vietnam at 20%, and European Union or Japan at 15%. These new tariffs have been added to the existing ones. Yeah, so 4% of exports to United States, which are at $3.2 billion, which are valued at $3.2 billion, like 4% of exports, which are auto components, they will face 25% tariffs, and only 30% of exports, including smartphones, pharmaceuticals, and petroleum products, are untouched. And how come United States trade war with other countries? What kind of tariffs they had, such as China had 30%, Vietnam had 20%, European Union or Japan had 15%. The 50% tariff makes India one of the most heavily taxed United States trade partner, equal to Brazil. It gives an example. It says shirts already had 12% duty. Now Indian shirts will be charged 62% total, compared to 42% for those from China and 20% for the ones from Vietnam. This relative disadvantage will likely cut India's exports to the United States from $86.5 billion in fiscal year 2025 to around $50 billion in fiscal year 2026. How come? Just because of high tariffs, Indian exports to the United States will decline from $86.5 billion in fiscal year 2025 to $50 billion in fiscal year 2026, just because of higher tariffs. And this was demonstrated giving an example of a shirt. How come it's gonna be charged 62% duty? It further says labor-intensive industries, where US accounts for over 30% of India's global exports, could see 70 to 80% annual declines. Shrimp exports at $2.4 billion now face 60% duties, hurting farmers and factories in Andhra Pradesh as rivals like Suadar and Vietnam take over. I don't know how to pronounce this country. Yeah. Ecuador and Vietnam. Yeah, they're gonna take over the shrimp industry, How come India's exports were at $2.4 billion and now they are facing 60% tariffs? Further says diamonds, gold and jewellery export to United States are worth $10 billion. Share of United States in Indian exports is 40%. Now this industry will see 52% tariff, threatening jobs in Surat, Mumbai and Jaipur. Now we're talking about diamonds, gold and jewellery. The export to US are worth $10 billion. Share of US in Indian exports is 40%. Yeah. So this industry is gonna hit as well at 52% tariffs. Textiles and apparel. The export amount was $10.8 billion, which was 35% share. They will face up to 64% tariff, devastating hubs in Tirupur, Noida, Gurgaon, Bangalore, Ludhiana and Jaipur, while Bangladesh and Mexico gain. Yeah. This is about textile and apparel industry, guys. How come we export $10.8 billion worth of textile and apparel? Like 35% share of exports to United States. And how come this industry face 64% tariff? They're gonna affect uh, hubs in Tirupur, Noida, Gurgaon, Bangalore, Ludhiana, Jaipur, while Bangladesh and Mexico gain. Even carpets, handicrafts, furniture, and farm goods like basmati rice and spices are badly hit. This could wipe out decades of export growth for India. Yeah, so overall it's a bad news, Overall it's a fucking bad news for all these industries. Like how come they're facing high tariffs and look at these amounts, like they're in fucking $1 billion and big share of exports goes to United States, big percentage share. So it's gonna be all affected, guys, starting today. Now let's see what the same article has to say on the brighter side. There is always a side of the coin. Let's see what it has to say further. This article it's coming out of an editorial page, and it's very well written. It's very well written and very well analyzed. It says India's global exports are expected to stay in positive zone, and we hope that the US tariffs will come down soon. Goods exports to other markets are projected to grow 5% from $350 billion in fiscal year 2025 to $368 billion in fiscal year 2026, cushioning the United States losses. The bigger driver is services exports, India's strongest suite, which are forecast to jump 10% from $385 billion to $421 billion, powered by IT, business services, fintech, and healthcare. Taken together, total exports of goods and services are set to climb from $820 billion to $839 billion, a 2.3% gain despite United States headwinds. American tariffs will hurt. This will not derail India's export engine. Yeah, guys, we just had a look at overall goods and services export from a country, the figures. Like how come the goods export in fiscal year 2025 was $350 billion and how it's going to jump to $370 billion, cushioning the United States losses. And the bigger driver is services exports, India's strongest suite, which are forecast to jump 10% from $380 billion to $421 billion, powered by IT, business services, fintech, and healthcare. And how come total goods and if we combine goods and services exports, how come it's going to rise from 840 billion, how come it's going to rise from $820 billion to $840 billion, which is 2.3% gain despite United States headwinds. Excuse me, guys. Now I have the last paragraph. Now I have the last paragraph from this article. It says also the 50% US tariffs on Indian goods may not last long. Washington first imposed a 25% duty and later doubled it, citing Indian Russian oil purchases. A move critics call hypocritical, as United States and European Union still import Russian goods. China, the biggest buyer of Russian oil, faces no such penalties. US officials face mounting media scrutiny over the double standard, fueling hopes the extra 25% could soon be rolled back. That would leave India with a 25% duty, which might drop to 18 to 20% once negotiations conclude. Talks are expected to resume as both countries need each other economically. The US tariff storm, like all storms, will pass. Hey guys, this was it from this article. This was it from these two articles, guys. This was all about, trade war between United States and India. How come there are other countries that were tariffed as well, and how come we have 50% tariffs on our exports to the United States? How come we are gonna have how come we were expecting talks with the United States, and probably they will roll back extra 25% tariff, and there will be further negotiations, and how we can expect, like, from 50% will probably come down to 18 to 20% range of tariffs for exports to United States. Yeah. So yeah, there was a lot of detail in these articles. You know, there was a lot of fucking information, a lot of fucking details. I just went over them. Again, I'll say the same thing. You know, I'll post these videos on YouTube, and you can always have a look at the transcript. It's 95. It's very much accurate, and like while I'm speaking, while you're watching this video, you can go over the transcript, and everything will make sense. What I was talking about. Like, you know, while you're listening and you're also reading the subtitles, like you can grasp more, and you'll be able to make sense all out of it. Yeah. So I'll make a quick video and connect with you guys about this trade war between United States and India. So I had these couple of important articles, so I thought I'll bring them up, and this was recently updated like a couple of hours ago in my journal. Yeah. So that's the motto of this video was, guys. Just to bring up a couple of interesting articles with a lot of details, a lot of information, like how about our goods and services exports to the outside world. I'm sure I have covered like more videos about goods and services exports in my previous videos. I've gone over them. I've had a brief discussion, like how come we have a small share when it comes to goods exports, talking about globally, like talking about other competitors. We have a very small share when it comes to global trade. We have less than 2% share in that, I guess, which needs to be taken care of in coming years if we're trying to become a superpower in coming years. Like maybe in next 20 years, 30 years down the road, like these numbers are gonna go up. So yeah, I think that's it for right now, guys. I don't have much to do. I don't have much to say in this video. I just wanted to bring up these couple of articles, and I guess that's it for right now. I'll connect with you guys more in my upcoming videos. I'll bring up more statistics, more interesting facts, more interesting articles, and what's happening in the outside world, guys. That's it for right now. Bye bye. Have a good one. Take care until next time, and love you all. Take care.